All right, all right, all right. A very good abend to each one of us, ladies and gentlemen. This is Teacher Fred speaking to us, and I believe that all of you are having a very good day, or had a good day for that matter. All right, then. Today I have scheduled yet again another interesting bit that is in connection to your speaking examination, right? Now, this is going to be affecting three different modules. That is for your Sprechen part, yeah? In A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. Because in all these various levels, I will be expected to form requests, right? Now, our focus is going to be specifically how to do it in the do form, right? Now, in your examination, you will either be forming request in the Z form or in the do form, right? So my main focus today is going to be in the do form right here. How do you form requests in the do form? Now, the good thing with the requests is that it won't only apply for sprechen, but also applies in schreiben, all right? So just go ahead and find somewhere to write. Just get somewhat right so that we break this one down into greater details. Now, yet again, as I like to say, the good thing with these types of topics is that they not only end in exams, but rather you also get to use them in your day-to-day conversations, right? So even as we get to start, feel free to share below where are you tuning in from and which level are you currently handling in your German learning journey. So, all right, then let's go ahead. So how do I form requests in the do form? How will I proceed to form my request in the do form? Now, the first thing I would like you to note down is this, that if I'm to form my request, I will begin with my verb stem. All right, you will get to begin with your verb stem. All right. Now, normally in the conjugation of do form, in the conjugation of do form, we tend to add the ending st, right? Normally you add the ending st when you're conjugating the do form, right? And then you tend to have your do coming right here, okay? And then at the end, you have an exclamation mark. Now, for them to know it's a request, one has to mark with an exclamation mark at the end. What happens if I don't put an exclamation mark? Then that would be an entirely different sentence. So for them to know it's a request, one has to mark with an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. Okay, so this is the skeleton structure. If I'm to form my request, I begin with my verb stem, right? And then there's the est and then there's the do. Now, for it to be a request, you are supposed to cancel out that ending st that normally comes in do. You also cancel out the do form, that pronoun. It won't be included. So it means for my request in do form, I only have my verb stem. All right? You only have your verb stem, and then anything else now is removed. All right. Hello to you too, Terry. Welcome in. Right. So let me assume I want to request somebody. You want to request somebody to maybe please drink the milk, right? Please drink the milk. So the verb that we have here is trinken, right? So my verb right here is trinken, right? So if you proceed to remove this ending en, okay, if you remove the ending en, now you'll be left with the verb stem, which is trink, something like this. So trinken, remove the en, now I'm remaining with trink. That is my verb stem. So if I'm to request somebody to do something in the do form, maybe I'll tell them, drink the milk. You would now proceed to say, trink, okay, trink die Milch. Trink die Milch. Now, remember that a request has to always be marked with an exclamation mark coming at the end. So, trink die Milch. You can now see we've removed the ending en and have remained with the verb stem. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and pick some other examples. Let's just pick some other examples. Now, I'm going to pick the verb fahren. Let's use the verb fahren. Right? Now, fahren means to drive or even to travel, right? So if you do the same thing, remove the ending en. Now, the verb stem that would remain here is fa, something like this. All right? So fahren, now you have fa. So you want to tell somebody, drive the bus. Drive the bus quickly. Drive the bus quickly. Remember in the do form. So in my do form, I would request them like this. Drive the bus. That is fahr den Bus. Fahr den Bus. Fahr den Bus. Now you're seeing what, from the two examples, what is happening? You are only picking the verb stem. Trinken, trink. Fahren, fahr. All right? Now, how about you are writing a letter to somebody, you are writing an email, because in the Schreiben, they also tell you to form a request. You are writing an email to a friend, and then you want to request that friend to write back to you, right? Or to write to you. Now, to write, the verb is schreiben, right? So my verb to write, that is going to be schreiben. Okay? So if we do the same thing, remove that ending en, now remain with the verb stem, which is now schreib, something like this. Okay, schreiben, now you have schreib. So I want to tell somebody, please write to me. Please write to me soon. Right, now you could use the word, of course, bitte. So you'd now say, bitte, schreib, bitte, schreib. Now don't say schreibst du. Bitte schreib mir bald. Bitte schreib mir bald. Look at that. Please write to me soon. Bitte schreib mir bald. Again, you see, I'm picking the verb stem. There is no st. Don't include st. Remove the do. I just say, bitte schreib mir bald. Okay. Now let's pick two more examples. Enter somebody. Please wash the car. Please wash the car. Okay. Please wash the car. Now, to wash, simply, the verb is waschen. Okay. Waschen. This is to wash. So if you do the same thing, remove the ending en. Now I am left with wasch. Okay. Waschen, wasch. So you're telling somebody, please wash the car. Please wash the car. Now you would say, bitte wasch, bitte wasch das Auto. Bitte wasch das Auto. And remember, don't forget to mark with an exclamation mark. You know, if you don't put an exclamation mark, it might mean something else, yeah? So for every request sentence, one has to mark with an exclamation mark. Now, how about you have two verbs? Because it's possible in a sentence to have 2, 3, 4, 5 verbs within the same sentence, right? Like in the example of to go shopping. The verbs to go shopping. Now you would use einkaufen, gehen. Now you can see here I have two verbs. Look at this. Einkaufen, gehen. Now this means to go shopping, right? So you want to request somebody, please go shopping. Please go shopping. Remember, the einkaufen is shopping, and then the gehen is to go. So please go shopping. Now here I would simply say bitte. Now you use the verb gehen. So gehen. Now you made with ge. Bitte ge. Now in some books they will tell you to add an e for pronunciation purposes. Bitte ge einkaufen. Bitte ge einkaufen. Please go shopping. Bitte ge einkaufen. All right, which is now please go shopping. All right, sehr gut, sehr gut. Now let's also pick one with a separable verb. Now in this separable verb, you've been given uncommon. Now, this is a very interesting one. Uncommon. Look at this. Now, uncommon normally means to arrive. All right? Uncommon, to arrive. So you want to request somebody to arrive. Maybe you want to tell the person, please arrive on Tuesday morning. Please arrive or please come over on Tuesday morning. So how would I use this? Remember, it's a separable verb. Now, for separable verbs, we will still maintain separating them. All right? So that you now have the prefix coming at the end. So please arrive on Tuesday morning. Please arrive on Tuesday morning. Now I would remove the an. I would throw an at the very end. So that I would now send this, I would say something like this. Bitte komm. Bitte komm. All right? And then you have am Tuesday morning. Dienstag morgen. Now remember, it's separable. Now the an comes at the very end. Something like that. Bitte komm am Dienstag morgen an, with the prefix coming at the very end, right? So you're seeing the same pattern or phenomena happens all through and through. Whether you're using a separable verb, whether you're using an unseparable verb, etc. Now, how about to use that one which is not separable? Now, this one I'd like you to also try. The verb here is verkaufen. The verb is verkaufen. Look at this. Now, verkaufen, as you know, is to sell, right? Verkaufen, to sell. So you want to tell somebody, please sell the house. Please sell the house. Now remember, it's not separable. The verb is verkaufen. I can't say kauf. It's inseparable. So I want to tell somebody, please sell the house. So how will I do this? Now you would proceed to say, bitte. That is bitte, right? Now the en is removed. Now I'm remaining with Verkauf. All right, bitte verkauf das Haus. And then you put an exclamation mark. Now you can see this one is inseparable. All right, don't say bitte kauf das Haus. It's inseparable. So we don't separate the prefix. Okay. Now let's bring in also an irregular verb, because in some instances you might be given an irregular verb. A good example of an irregular verb is the sprechen. Sprechen is a good example, right? So let's use sprechen for a moment here. So this is the verb sprechen, to speak. Now for this one, I don't remove en. Instead, normally when you conjugate sprechen, it becomes sprichst, right? With an I. So if I'm to tell somebody, speak English, in the do form, request, speak English, now you would say, sprich English. Sprich English, bitte. Sprich English, bitte. Look at that. Sprich English, bitte. Speak English. Sprich English, bitte. Speak English. All right? So you are seeing what is happening right here when I proceed to form my request in the do form. Majorly is for me to use the verb stem. The ending st is now removed entirely. Okay? Now, I think I want to give us the very last example with another irregular verb. Let's pick a very irregular one. Let's use essen. Let's use essen, for example, right? The verb is essen, to eat, right? Ich esse, but under do now becomes du isst. So for essen, this is also irregular. You would now use in the do form something like this. So you want to tell somebody, eat the pizza. Eat the pizza, please. Is die Pizza Now you would say, ist die Pizza bitte? Ist die Pizza bitte? Look at that. Also irregular. Ist. Now, normally essen is an irregular verb. Ich esse, but do is, right? That's why you now say, ist die Pizza bitte? Eat the pizza, please. All right. So I believe up until there, you will have now seen how to form request in the do form. Remember, bottom line is begin with the verb stem. Normally, verb stem is that thing that remains after you've removed the ending en or n. Trinken, trink. Schlafen, schlaf. Spielen, spiel. And so on and so forth. So I want to leave you with the 4 questions as your house of Gabe to go and work on. Yeah, let me give you some 4 examples for you to go and work on as your assignments. So here's the first one. How would you request somebody to do this? Please bring the computer. Please bring the computer. Now, as you'll be doing this, do ensure to share with your other classmates to ensure you get it correctly. Please bring the computer. That's the first one. Now, the second one I'd also like you to do as your assignment is, now let's make it negative. How you tell somebody, don't wash. Don't, whoever will score this, don't wash the car. Now remember, it's negative. Don't wash the car. And then the other one, cook the fish. Cook the fish well. Cook the fish well. And then the last one, so cook the fish well. And then the last one says like this, bring Maria the new flowers. Bring Maria the new flowers. Yeah. So these are the ones I'd like you to go ahead and form their various requests, and then afterwards you will be able to share also here with the classmates to mark. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Damen und Herren, das ist alles regarding how to form requests. Remember, I told you this will be tested in your B1, in your B2, in your A1, in your A2, as you'll be having conversations with a partner. They give you a situation and then they want to see how you're able to ask. Remember, conversation is not about question and answer. What makes many people lose in their Sprechen exams is that they make it an interview, whereby they only ask a question and an answer. Do you go today? No. How much is it? 2,000. Where do you live? In Kisumu? No, don't make it an interview. Instead, they want you to have a conversation, right? Sometimes you're asking a question, you are responding, you are making a request, you are also interrupting. So it's a conversation and not an interview, all right? So, with that said and done, this brings us to the end of today's live. Let me say, das ist alles für heute. Tschüss und gute Nacht.